Um, it's technically part. It's hard to explain the parts, but you know what I mean, right? If you guys know, you
Anime
know.
streaming platforms, high dive.
Okay, so here we go now. Wait, so you know what's interesting? Is it actually working through our messenger? Actually, it is. Okay, I'm just asking because, like, yeah, I'm just saying that. Does this mean we're able to just do it on here instead of just Discord or whatever? It's not delaying, honestly.
Dive and Crunchyroll joined streaming alliance with 13 other specialty platforms. This is horrendous news, like terrible news. There's no way to
Wait,
spin this in a pause.
13 hours special. Wait, I'm trying to know what that means. What does that mean? Wait,
Light.
okay,
This
I'm trying
is
to.
marking basically the end of High Dive because High Dive has been
Wait, no! It says. Sorry. It says that High Dive, like, they don't have season 3 of Oshinoko platform. No, Oshinoko's having season 3. Just High Dive does not have
bleeding
season 3
anime
of
as of
Oshinoko.
late. They have been bleeding a lot of series to
Wait,
Crunchyroll, like for instance Oshinoko,
can you
and
pause right
they
here?
have clearly not.
Yeah, I was sure. Yeah, it's like the art competition. Wait, hold on a second. I was trying to read this before, like, I know he's gonna probably read it, but I was just reading it. It's just so I can understand what's going on. Anyway, so basically it said, I'm so disappointed in this. I don't know why AMC even bought High Dive. It doesn't feel like they are investing anything in the company at all. They do keep getting one show a season and build their catalog, but you have to keep your exclusives. In my mind, the shows that are actually worth the subscription are The Eminence of Shadow called the Night, Don Monte, which is you know that. Anyway, the one for Dungeon is it wrong to pick up girls in Dungeon? Let's the shores into that. And Oshinoko. Of course, Made in Abyss is phenomenal, but it hasn't had anything new in years. And then you get the shows that support them through the in between seasons, like Dark Gathering, Helk. I don't know what that is. Ragnar Crimson, and this season ends The Dust from Beyond, or whatever it's called. Though it does, I would think it would be best if all the rights to shows and essentially be the comparative control since they seem to actually have love for the anime genre, but unlike Disney does. Oh, and Dangerous in My Heart is also very true. TLDR, High Dive aren't willing to hold exclusives to sell to someone who will actually compete with them. Okay, so that's what this is empowering. This is what.
Not been doing so hot because their competitor is Crunchyroll, which at this point
Yeah,
owns basically a monopoly on anime in the West.
yeah, yeah. I mean, they just added the English dub for IQ, but there's still animes that just have a Hindi dub. Not English dub, but just a Hindi dub.
I've talked about this
Like
over
what?
and over again, so I'm not going to get back into that. The point of the matter is that Crunchyroll has been eating away their competition, basically pushing them out of the industry or
Yeah.
devouring them by basically buying them out. For its
Yeah, well, we kind of noticed. I mean, if we all had, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, but I would assume that a lot of you all watching this, you watch on Crunchyroll, like animes on there. You may know about High Dive. Like I always say, it's the air commented. We always say it's the air commented. Yeah, because there are animes on. It's not even just that, but High Dive is a cheaper option than Crunchyroll is. Like it's a cheaper option as well. Yeah, that's the other thing as well.
is what happened to either Funimation, what happened to Right Stuff.
Oh wait, no. I think I understand what's going on. I understand what's happening. I now understand. Okay, so basically, I think if you all know, years ago, Funimation was its own, like, streaming service. Like, if it's a Funimation dub of an anime, they have it on the platform. Funimation used to be its own streaming service, but then I think it merged with Crunchyroll, if I'm correct, or something, right? That's what I think is going on. I understand now. Yeah, Funimation was it had its own application. Like, you could anything that was a Funimation dub, you could stream the Funimation English dub straight from Funimation. Like, it was its own streaming application. Yeah, I think there was another one, if I'm correct. What was the other one? Wasn't there another one other than Funimation? It was just I swear there was another one. I think it was just Funimation. Yeah, I think that's what's going on because I think there's memes that High Dive is gonna be part of another, like, platform, and it's not its own thing.
And I see that eventually they're going to set their sights on Viz Media. But it seems like at this point, High
Oh, yeah,
Dive
this
is
is
at a kind of a crossroad. They either succumb to Crunchyroll, for instance, get bought out by them, or Sony in this case.
Yeah, that's what I'm noticing. Yeah, if they were their own thing. If High Dive was his own thing, like, for a long time, though. And the English dub. And you have to keep the and you have to add the English dubs too, not just Hindi dub. The English dub. Not just Hindi, bro. Like, not bro, everyone in the world does not speak Hindi, bro. Like, what? Bro, English makes
Or
more
they join
sense.
an alliance with them and slowly push off their debt for a few years. And that more or less is what it seems like is going on here.
Yeah, that's what I'm noticing too. Yeah, and that's the thing though, 'cause, like, I I don't know if I'm correct. I think Crunchyroll would actually used to be his own thing, but then Sony bought Crunchyroll, and then Crunchyroll part of Sony, and now it's Sony like the major thing, and Crunchyroll its own thing. It could
Here
I like
that
hide
this
up.
is
That's
High
what I'm
Dive's
getting.
last ditch effort to try to get out of the red and try to have some form of like income and try to fight back against Crunchyroll, but they realize that they can't fully fight back, so they're like, I guess let's just be buddy buddy with them and maybe we could get some series from them and have, you know, simulcasted releases. For instance, whatever releases on Crunchyroll might come to High Dive. Maybe that's what they're thinking, but this is bad because the fact that
I
they're doing
mean,
a
but here's the thing though is like, even if that happened though, like, I'm just being honest here. Like, High Dive is just so not a lot of people know it, and it's just like there really is no way they could come back. Like, I'm just saying, like, if they did a major like thing, they say like, "Oh, we got these animes here, we got the English dub," or something like that, people would switch to it, but no, they had never said anything like that. Like, yeah, they've been doing promotion stuff, but they need to say like, "Hey, we got this anime, English dub," or something like that. They would give you a reason to switch to High Dive. Like, but they haven't done that. If they
streaming
did, then they
alliance
would.
with Crunchyroll is something that happened kind of similar to Funimation. For those that don't know, a while
Yeah,
back, it was years ago, back in like
yeah, it was years
2017,
ago.
maybe 2016. It was a long time ago, okay? Don't quote me
Yeah,
on the exact year, but it was way before
it's when it was its
2019.
own
Crunchyroll
application.
and Funimation worked together. They had an alliance where they would release series on each other's platform, and it was at that
Yeah, they
time
had
it
their
seemed
own
very
platform.
beneficial. But it
Yeah, and
obviously
they
was
had
kind of
their own
sinister when you
platform.
really think about it, where it was like one company was going to buy out the other, and eventually that's what exactly happened. You had
Yeah,
Crunchyroll.
I think it's more like that, honestly. But they used to be their own platform, though. Funimation used to be its own platform before. Yeah, this was like 2016, 2017. That's what year it was. I was familiar with what year it was.
Take over
That's what it was.
Funimation. Everything from Funimation was brought over into Crunchyroll. They could soon Funimation, and I feel like that's what this is leading to. It's leading to High Dive being devoured by
Yeah. But I'm gonna tell you another perspective here, though. Yeah, but let me tell you another perspective. The other perspective, though, and I'm just being honest. High Dive isn't like at least Funimation is its own like dubbing studio. They're their own company. They're like the actual company. Like High Dive isn't really a production company. They're just a streaming software. So like this is a different situation because like if it was their own content, like you know what I mean? Like if it was like their own content, they've actually dubbed it. That's a different story. But like High Dive is like the smaller version of Crunchyroll. Like they haven't actually dubbed anything. They just put I'm just saying this situation, so this is why this is kind of stupid that they would need to merge on us. Like, there's no point in merging on us. Like, what are you gaining from this? Not anything. I mean, the
Crunchyroll,
only
and
thing
it's just
is if the same animes were on Hideout on the Crunchyroll, so you wouldn't have to switch and that the offer on Crunchyroll would be lower, so you can still get everything. Like that's the only way it's good. But like if that doesn't happen and they're getting removed, then that's not a good thing. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Hideout is cheaper than Crunchyroll, so merging would be stupid because you can't get the cheaper option anymore.
going to be the end for any competition. Because I want to state
Yeah,
this because I
exactly.
think this
No.
is very important context for the video. Crunchyroll does not have any direct competitors besides.
Yeah, except for Hideout. But if they merge with Hideout, there's no competition at all. And that's like it's kind of a problem because which is crazy honestly, because
High
like
Dive. Like, yes, you
there's
could
no point
argue
honestly,
Disney,
honestly.
Hulu,
Yeah, I will yeah. It does not really count though. And I'll tell you the reason why, because it's not just anime though. Yeah. You know Hulu is going away, right? Yeah. 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 And then another thing is like the fact that like it's not really a competition because if it the only competition means that it has to just be having anime only, like High Dive. Like even Netflix is not competition either, but it is not competition though. Yeah, I mean Amazon Prime is the same thing.
and Amazon to an extent, and sometimes Netflix,
Yeah,
but they're
same
not
Amazon.
strictly anime platforms.
That's exactly what we are just talking about. Oh, do you already know the controversy of Amazon Prime AI dubbing? It's for No Game No Life in film. No Game No Life film. No Game No Life Zero. But they removed it though because of controversy. Banana Fish. But they removed the AI dubbing because of the controversy. They were about to AI dub Vinland Saga, by the way. Thank goodness they did not do that. And here's another thing I want you to know. I think I already said this before, but No Game No Life Zero has an official English dub. They could have literally bought the rights for the English dub to put it on their platform. They could have literally just easily did that. Yeah, I mean, you have like Eminence of Shadow. I always do that as a reference
Crunchyroll
to
is
Miguel.
an anime streaming service with anime
Yeah,
merchandise. High Dive
just
is
anime
as
only.
well. There is no other
Yeah,
streaming service that is a competitor to Crunchyroll besides High Dive. And if High Dive
yeah, exactly.
falls, there's no competition. It's over. It's
Exactly.
completely over. Crunchyroll has a 100% monopoly, at least on
Yeah.
the actual main focus of anime streaming services. There is no
Yeah.
direct competition at that point. So what this
Yeah.
basically means
Oh, yeah. But, like,
is that they would have
this is
a
why this
monopoly.
is
We
the
already
problem, right? Yeah, I mean, this is kind of a foreshadowing event, bro, like, as you can see, the article was made December 7th, 2025, so
knew
we have
this,
no
but
idea
they
when that will
would definitely
happen.
submit the fact that they would have a monopoly. But before we go any further,
Yeah,
we need to read this article. And the reason why it's important to talk about this article
alright.
is because it's not just the fact that High Dive and Crunchyroll and a few
What's LTV? What is that? I've never heard of that before. I've not heard of NDM Plus. I've not heard of Gray American Pure Flix or Vic. I've never heard of these before. What are these? I've never heard of these before. Yeah, that's what I know too.
other specialty streaming services are teaming up with a streaming alliance, but they do some corpo speak that basically indicates that they want to regulate and push certain agenda within their streaming platforms. Last month, 15
What,
specialty
censorship?
streaming services, including
Censorship? Is this what this is going leading
anime
to?
services High Dive and Crunchyroll, announced the formation of the Specialty Streaming Advocacy Coalition
What is
Beyond
that?
Mainstream, a global streaming alliance. Per its media release, Beyond Mainstream aims to provide a unique, collective voice for specialized services and the streaming industry. The coalition will work to ensure a more equitable regulatory environment where members have a
What does that
strong
even
collective
mean?
voice and a global regulatory
What? What does it even mean? What the heck is the global streaming? Oh, bro, like what? There's no point, honestly, bro. You know how like I talk about corporate and stuff, and they always put some kind of message to like say like, oh, provide a unique collective voice for specialists. Like, bro, that doesn't mean anything. Like what? There's no point in this. Like what? That's why I'm
and
like so confused.
policy debates. And so that's a
What?
lot of corpo speak for pretty much
Yeah, that's corporate. That's
censorship
what I meant.
or pushing certain prices and subscription prices. And let me
Oh, that
explain
too.
why I'm
Yeah.
saying that. First off, the fact that they're talking about policy debates, regulatory, global regulatory, and just regulations and stuff like that, it implies that if one company wants to say put their prices for $15 for their streaming service, all the other companies will follow suit around the exact same price, pretty much
Oh,
pricing
that
out
does
anyone
make
else
sense.
within the industry where they can't really compete back. Because if they work together as an alliance, they're pretty
Oh,
much putting the certain amount of limit or money
wait,
that
I
they all
get
can
it.
do.
So basically, you know how we were talking about high dive being the cheaper option? That means their price is gonna be the same as Crunchyroll. What? This doesn't make sense though. Yeah, I'm just saying that there's no point for an alliance because they all shouldn't be the same price. There's a reason why we would prefer high dive or Crunchyroll because it's a cheaper option. This at this point, there's no point. Like
And
what?
basically, they're not one upping each other, downing each other. They're more or less working
Yeah.
together to kind
Yeah, I was just saying, yeah, like that's kind of what's going on. That's what I was saying. But yeah, I already knew that. I was just saying
to
that.
force out anyone else in the industry that's not working with them outside of their field. It definitely feels kind of like a monopoly and malicious in a way. I don't know exactly
Yeah, it
what
still
you would
does.
call this, but it kind of feels like a legal mafia. It shouldn't be legal, maybe it's not, but even if these companies are not, let's say, owned by one company, like Sony owns them all or something, or Microsoft or whatever, the point is that
Okay.
these companies are working together to probably do the exact same policies. Well, they are. They admitted that the exact same policies and agenda, regulatory environment, and everything. It pretty much implies that they will all kind of do the exact same thing, the exact same subtitles or whatever, how they release things, how
I mean, if this is related to censorship, maybe it is. I hope it's not. Yeah, but so basically, what I'm getting from this is that say there's an anime you really want to come out this year, right? That means that they would release it on both things, and if Crunchyroll has a release day issue, High Dive will also have a release day issue. But you don't want a release day issue to happen, honestly. That would be stupid, honestly. When it's supposed to. And have the dub version as well. That's another thing. They might not even have the dub version yet. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So I would think that would happen. They would have a yeah, exactly.
They'll
Because like
censor things, it will all be the same. So if you go to one service expecting it to be different from, let's say, Crunchyroll, like for instance, you want to go to High Dive because
not.
you don't like
It'll be the
Crunchyroll's
same.
policies and how they handle things, you're
It'll
going to
be the
get the exact same thing from High
it is the
Dive
same thing, yeah.
because of this alliance. This is just not good.
Yeah.
It sounds like it might be good, but in reality, it's
It is
definitely
not
not
good.
good. These
I didn't think
companies
it
are
was
definitely
good.
working together to kind of get more of a grip on the market, and High Dive in general, I see why they're doing this, because they're bleeding money, they're bleeding series, they
Okay,
need
yeah,
to do
I guess
something, but it's more or less them slowing their death instead of just letting it happen, because that's
oh,
exactly what this looks like. But
yeah, I
this is
guess
bad.
so.
Like, this is really bad news.
It is, yeah.
We knew it was gonna happen. Like, I sensed High Dive was
Yeah,
not gonna last much
I guess.
longer with all the bad news that keeps coming out about them, but this really is like the icing on the cake, showcasing that it's just the
Yeah.
end. Like, I honestly give them at max 2 years, and then something's gonna happen. Either something
Oh,
massive is gonna
yeah.
shift with High Dive, or they're gonna announce a complete joint merger with Crunchyroll to some degree. For instance, they're gonna allow
Yeah.
series from High Dive to be on Crunchyroll and vice versa, and eventually High Dive is just gonna be consumed by Crunchyroll. I see something like that happening
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, Crunchyroll, even though they own a monopoly on anime, it's still a very niche field in comparison to everything else within the industry, especially in movies and entertainment. Like, everything going on with, like, Warner Brothers right now. When it comes to Warner
Oh,
Brothers
yeah.
and Paramount
Oh,
and
yeah, I do know about
Netflix,
that. The
those are
Netflix
big head
thing.
honchos, big mega corporations pretty much competing over massive
HBO
titles.
Max.
But Crunchyroll, yes, they might own a monopoly on anime, but it is nothing in comparison to, let's say, something like Netflix or Paramount and Warner Brothers. That's why a lot of people are unaware of the situation that's been building over the
Oh,
years.
yeah, that is
But I'm
true,
gonna leave it at
actually.
that. I
A lot of
wanted to
people don't
talk
know
about
about
this
what's
because
going
this
on.
news graced my feed, and I was just like, man. It's what I
Yeah.
expected. I called it years ago, but here we are. So,
Oh,
anyways,
yeah.
I'll leave it at that. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe. Helps me out a lot. I love you guys. Be safe, stay healthy.
Yeah. So that's kind of a full shot events that, high dive or something like that. So something like that. Yeah, it is. The game stuff and anime, but specifically Japanese games.
This may be the last
Oh my god. All right. So anyway, so here's what it says. It says, Japanese blackjack-based RPGs Steam version banned in Germany, China, and Saudi Arabia for bikini armor crimes. What? All right.
Blackjack-based RPG Steam version banned in Germany, China, and Saudi Arabia for
Why
bikini
those
armor
countries?
crimes. The world has become so stupid, man.
I know,
So
right?
stupid. Oh my
It's
goodness.
so
The
stupid.
absolute mental.
Look, bro, look at the countries that banned it. Saudi Arabia, China, and Germany. Germany? But what about, bro? I think the country that stands out the most to me is Germany. Like Germany? Why Germany? Yeah, but like, bro, what's going on in Germany that they're banning things? I didn't know this. Yeah, like why did Germany ban it, right? Yeah, but isn't it stupid how out of all the countries, Germany though, right? Like, bro, this is a guys, and this is the thing that I'm saying talking about Germany because this is a Japanese game, bro. It's not a German game. It's not a German game. Like what? Like the crazy part is that this part in the image had to be censored. But look, this part of the image had to be censored. I know, right? Oh my gosh, that right there for a long time. Yeah, it's because of Steam. Isn't it crazy how this part had to be censored? I know, right? Like what? Yes, to censor it. Yes, it is. Like, bro, she doesn't deserve that. I know, right? I know, right, bro? Like fantasy animes, they wear this stuff. I know, right? I know, right? Like what?
illness. So before we get into these alleged crimes that this game has committed and the game company has committed, there's
Crimes is
quite a few
crazy.
other things I also want to talk about in this video. I want to talk briefly about the brown dust situation. I want to talk about
Wait,
Jailburu
go
and
back,
how
go
it's
back.
being forced to censor itself and how Cloud
Can I see the thing for the art thing? Let me see what's going on.
situation.
Those. Wait, pause it here. Those regarding the Brown Dust 2 release in Steam, Fulber's RPG, Brown Dust 2. First of all, we'd like to students here. I think everyone has been looking forward to our Steam release. We have preparing for a Steam launch for a long time, but during coordination with the platform's policy requirements, we encountered an issue that cannot be solved with the current version of the game. Alex is internal discussion. We have decided not to pursue a Steam release. Okay. Um, that might be the name of the game. No, right? They also censor things that are not even inappropriate. There were characters that got removed. It also didn't let us go to an area before, it didn't let us go before level 1. Yeah, it didn't let us go to, a certain area because, yeah, like what? Yeah, I believe that is important because if you're all watching this, you may have already encountered recommended videos on your, YouTube page for the age verification of Roblox. A lot of, YouTubers already been, making videos on that, honestly, of, people leaving Roblox because of the, update. So, but we will make a video too. We'll make a video on that. It'll be a separate video where we make that. It's not. We all know it's not their fault. It's Steam's fault. It's Steam's fault. Yeah, like what? Like what, for real? Like that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Yeah, that too. Oh yeah, this is the image, by the way. Yeah, yeah. A lot of these are from December, but we're in a new year now, so we got like stuff going on. Well, for this kind of stuff, yeah. But don't forget, guys, we got anime we're looking forward to though. Me Streamer Overload 4. Me Streamer Overload in April, and then Class and Elite. And we also this month is Fire Force, in Hell's Paradise. Well, coming up, Jujutsu Kaisen already came out yesterday, and Oshinoko is supposed to come out soon in a little bit as well. And then, of course, we have My Academia Vigilantes. Yeah,
I want to talk
we all
about
know that about
Jailburu
them. The Office.
and how
I
it's
was just
being
saying the
forced to
image right
censor
here is The
itself, and how
Office. Like what?
Cloudflare, the actual service that hosts majority of the internet, and I made a video already discussing them about 2 weeks ago, how the internet went down for a majority of people around the world.
Oh
Cloudflare, that
yeah, I remember that
Cloudflare is
video. We reacted to that. Yeah, bro, this is so random. They have The Office. Michael Scott. That show on Netflix or something. It was that comedy show with Michael Scott. I just think it's just funny that I just see this image.
censoring
But
to
yeah, we already
Germany
watched the
on
Cloudflare video
censorship.
though.
An American-based company at that is listening to an actual foreign country to censor the entirety of the internet and censor American sites, etc. Very
That's
bad
crazy.
thing in general, and I'm going to
Yes,
talk
it
about
is.
this extensively in a moment, because this is honestly, out of everything I want to be talking about in this video, this is probably one of the most important things to talk about,
Wait, pause right
because this
here.
shows once again
Well, I'm gonna read it though. Okay, so basically it says Cloudflare is now on the record as having implemented policy that permanently outsources all final decisions on the legality of or acceptability of U.S. hosted First Amendment protected content to FSM Hotline Germany, a foreign entity that applies German law onto content that is legal in the United States of America. Cloudflare will only consider lifting the restrictions on this domain after we have received notice from FSM directly that the content of this domain has been deemed a false positive for CSAM. This is the same country that sees all your electronics permanently for criticizing politicians and hurting their feelings, making a lewd joke, posting a meme, or even playing a violent video game, and then laugh at you about it. Well, that's crazy.
and the
What?
escalation of censorship, not just on gaming, not just on anime and manga, but
And
also on
everything.
creative expression, free
Yeah, but yeah, it's crazy, honestly. I want you to pay attention to this last paragraph, though. The one that says making a lewd joke, posting a meme, or even playing a violent video game. Like, look at that last paragraph. Yeah, but like, let's put it in perspective, right? Grand Theft Auto. So that means if I play Grand Theft Auto, will I get arrested? Is that what this means? Like, okay, actually, real example. If we play Black Souls, are we gonna get arrested? Like, if we play Christie in the Village, Christie Village, did we get arrested? Like, what? Like, bro, like, this is actually so stupid, bro. Like, what? Like,
freedom, art, people being able to speak online. That's what
yeah,
this
like
is. This is an escalation of what's been going on in the EU, the UK, in Australia, in Canada, in America as well, with all these different laws that's going on.
yeah,
This
Europe.
is more progression of that. But let's back up for a second and let's keep it very simple for now. Let's talk about Brown Dust 2. So, there's probably a lot of people that are aware of this game either through its ads or have played the game.
I actually not heard of it before. Yeah,
I
I haven't heard of it before. It's my first time.
personally have briefly played Brown Dust, not a lot, but I kind of enjoy the aesthetic of the game. I'm going to be blunt. I'm not going to deny that, okay? I'm an adult here. And this game apparently was going to be getting released on Steam. And a lot of people were heavily looking forward to a Steam release, being able to play it on Steam, on their PC, etc. That just sounds like a great time. But obviously, thanks to what's happened in the last 4 or 5 months, payment processors have been really giving Valve and Steam the whip. They have forced Steam to bow down and kiss the boot of MasterCard and Visa and
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, I had to, I had to buy Danganronpa for you. Yeah, no, no, it's not a bad thing. I'm just saying that because of Steam, we couldn't buy Danganronpa directly from Steam. I had to buy it from a third party to get it for you. Yeah, it's the same thing for the Day Alive game, Reincarnation. No, the Day Alive game was a great deal. It was for limited time. The discount was. You had to go to third party to buy it. And you would guess where the hacker was from? Germany. Wow, so coincidental. The same place that banned that game from the beginning of this video. They happen to be the hacker. Wow. And it's Germany of all places, really? Oh yeah, Russia. Yeah, that's it. A Russian was from Russia. From a Russian. From Russia. Yeah, so Russia of all countries. You also can't trust Roblox anymore either. Weren't you hacked on Discord as well? Yeah, but we lost trust in Roblox, didn't we? Yeah, but think about it. David Baszucki. Yeah, we have lost trust in Roblox, and we have the new update with the age verification. You can't even chat unless you're in the same age group. Yeah, because people say stupid stuff, but like for our people, yeah, it's a bad thing. Yeah, billion-dollar company by the way. Yeah, I'm surprised that has not happened yet. It should happen, bro. Imagine that happening this year. That'd be crazy, right? Imagine that, bro. You know how old he is? He's almost like grandpa, bro. Right, for real, right? No, he's not. No, he's not. No, he couldn't. What? Yeah, and the other thing is like all these things are connected. Like the whole Roblox thing and the same thing and the YouTube thing is all connected. Not anymore now. Not during this time. I mean, now we have to do Itchio. Yeah, we all know. But you know how all these things are connected, right? YouTube, Roblox, Steam, they're all connected. Discord. I actually hope it's not 10 years. I hope it's not even less than 10 years. Yeah. We won't even be able to communicate with each other anymore. And we won't be able to communicate anymore. Yeah. Well, actually, to be honest, it is partially, to be honest. Partially it is. Yeah. CEO. Corporate. Yeah, like what? Like, thank goodness the strikes are removed. Yeah, but at least the strikes are gone for YouTube. I mean, they still a warning. I hope so.
create an entirely new policy on their platform to censor gaming. And as I've talked about in the
Yeah,
last
it's
few months,
crazy.
not just with censorship of the internet, but there's
Oh, what's going on? Wait, what's going on? Oh, yeah, I do. Okay.
been a lot of games that
Wait, what's going on now? Okay. Wait, go back a little bit. Alright, there you go.
gaming. And as I've talked about in the last few months, not just with censorship of the internet, but there's been a lot of games that's clearly being targeted by Steam, or in this case, payment processors. These games are being
Yeah,
heavily targeted and censored and not being allowed to
for
release
real.
as they're supposed to be with the
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. I couldn't even use my, card either. Yeah, I know, right? I know, right?
their content intact and allowing the entire world
I believe you can. Literally.
to see them like they're
That's
actually meant to be. And you have it to where
the fandom. Exactly. Yeah, because of Steam. Yeah, exactly.
they have this release set up like they're going to release, let's say today, like they were going to release on December 9th, but when they're going to release on December 9th, they suddenly make a surprise announcement saying, oh, we can't release the game anymore, guys, because for some reason Steam will not allow us to post the game. And in this case, that's probably what's going on here, is that we have seen this happen already multiple times, not just with, let's say, something like Brown Dust, but just random Japanese RPG Maker games and stuff.
Yeah, and it's always these kind of games. Japanese RPGs, JRPGs. No one. Yeah, like
that's
what?
releasing on the platform just straight up are not allowed to release, and there's no reason really given, and there's been a lot of examples
Oh,
that
there's
this is
not even a
something that's
reason.
continuously escalating towards games that have more or less adult content. There is definitely a push
Yeah,
for a
the
lot of
JRPG.
censorship, and my educated guess here is that payment processors are somewhat involved, maybe not fully, maybe there's other reasons for why it's not being allowed to release, but I'm willing to bet you payment processors are definitely a part of the problem here, especially with what we've seen as a trend for the last few months. Now, with this being said, we need to
Yeah.
talk about the thing I talked about opening up the video with, which was the Japanese blackjack based RPG Steam version game that is banned in Germany, China, and Saudi Arabia.
Germany.
I'm going to do a hot take. If your country is being compared to China of all countries and to ban and censor games, I think you've lost the plot. I think that that is not a
Especially
good look.
Germany. Bro, like, wait, imagine living in Germany. I know, right? Yeah, well, Europeans specifically. There's a lot of YouTubers that are from Europe. The lot of them are United Kingdom British.
Whatsoever, because China 100% censors content. Everybody knows this unless you are either living under a rock, you're willfully being ignorant, or you're someone that is okay with censorship. Whatever the case may be, when your country is being compared to the censorship of China, instant red flag.
Yeah, that's Germany. Yeah, now Germany's a red flag now. Don't don't live there. Move out of Germany. Move out of Germany. Move out of Germany. Germany. Yeah, go to Japan. Move to Japan. Move to Japan and Germany and move to Japan. It's not even just that, but like I hope the United States of America does not start banning stuff.
Now, apparently, the reason why this game has been terminated or banned is because of bikini armor crimes.
What? Bro, that doesn't even sound real. Bro, they're just making stuff up. Bro, they're just making stuff up.
Now, this is more or less, I think, a buzz title here, an overall blanket statement, but more or less the reason why it was not allowed to release is because of its content within its game. For instance, the character designs in question, the female characters, male characters,
Yeah, the
whatever, the
content.
designs in questions of the characters just having different outfits on, not even showing anything, is enough to
So
get the game.
what, right? Like, bro, and the crazy thing is that in that game, it wasn't even a Japanese game. It looked like a game made in the United States of America because it kind of remind me of like uh Resident Evil or something that kind of art style or like random art or something. Like it wasn't even a Japanese game. Yeah, like yeah, bro. Like in context, guys, if you have guys watch fancy animes, right? You know that the female and characters wear stuff like this. This is a normal thing in fantasy animes. They literally wear them. Like, they literally did
banned.
that.
And this honestly looks very similar. Like, for instance, the correlation of this situation reminds me a lot of, like, Dragon Quest. Now, this is very old news. It's nothing relatively new. But Dragon Quest is a game that many people have pointed out has been actively censored. For instance, a lot of the character
Really?
designs and artwork and stuff.
I actually heard of Dragon Quest before, but I never knew Dragon Quest was censored. Like, really? Yeah, I never knew it was censored.
Has been
Like,
changed
what?
to where the original aesthetic and designs are completely different from what they used to be, and it's
Oh.
very obvious it's because of censorship. And like I said, it's a
Oh,
very
I
old topic. People have been
understand.
talking about this for months, maybe even years at this point. But why I'm saying this is that it's clearly a push that you have characters like female characters, for instance, they cannot show anything. They can't show legs, they can't show arms, neck, or whatever. If
That's
they do, they
crazy.
have
That's
to
sexist,
instantly be
bro.
censored, or the game is completely banned. And I feel like
Yeah,
that's
that's
exactly
sexist.
what's
What?
going on here. This is another extreme example of creative expression being completely stifled
Exactly,
and not allowed to.
bro. Like, imagine you're the developer, creator. You've been working hard on the character designs for the anime girls, and you can't even like put it on Steam. Like, they probably worked so hard on the character design, bro.
Express itself.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm so sorry that um fantasy anime girls wear this. I'm sorry. They just wear that, bro. Like, if you've seen a lot of fantasy animes, you know what I'm like. Fantasy's a whole different multiverse, bro. They don't have the same laws as us. Yeah, like for real. Like what?
Because you have certain Karens or individuals that think any content that's
Oh
adult
yeah,
is icky and should never be presented whatsoever. But in turn, they'll
which is
go around and
stupid.
be a
What?
hypocrite and they'll allow, for instance, like something with a dude being in spandex. That's completely okay.
Wow, that's so sexist. Like this is exactly what I'm talking about. Like, okay, so if a guy was just what like the swimsuit, like the short shorts, right? And the beach. That's okay? That's allowed? That's gay. But we can't have anime girls in a fantasy setting be wearing this. Like what? Bro, this is so sexist, right? Like what? Like like the fact a guy can be in the short shorts and on the beach. That's okay? Bro, look how much skin is showing. They're showing their full abs, their long legs. That's okay, but we can't see an anime girl in this clothing. And it's sexist. It's sexist as well. Like, what?
To them. And I'm just like, if you're going to be upset, at least be consistent. But it's never about that. It's just this moral signaling, virtue signaling, all in between and stuff like that. It's not a really good look. But apparently the
It's not.
company that is being hit by this censorship, they did an official response, by the way, in Japanese. Like this original post is in Japanese, as you can see. It's a Japanese
Oh,
creator.
it's
They
a
made a post
Japanese
saying, due to the
they
character
actually
design,
did.
Brave X Junction has been tagged with, adult content filters by Steam. They have requested a
Wow,
re-review, but
what?
Valve basically says, nah, we're not doing that. We still think it should not be approved. And so the
Wow,
game
what?
has been locked. It is
What? Dang. Yeah, I think the thing that I thought is the fact that they actually responded back and they said they were not gonna change the rating, basically. Like, really? Like, what?
now
And
been
it's actually a
banned in
Japanese
multiple
company that,
countries.
made this
This is
game.
really bad. And once again, I feel like there is definitely a rogue employee within the
In Steam, a rogue employee in Steam.
content approval
Yeah.
system for games on Steam. I've talked about this like a month ago. There was a game that was facing a lot of issues just for a character showing their backside, and it's just
Oh,
like,
we watched that video. We did watch that video. That's the one I was talking about.
how is that a problem? I had a full video on that,
Yeah,
and the
like
internet started talking about that considerably. And it's very clear that someone, a rogue employee or something, or the entire system, reviewing system, is faulty. And
yeah. But we still can say it's Steam's fault. I mean, they're
feel like
part of
we are
it.
seeing a pattern here with stuff like this, especially with Japanese games, and it's happened once again. I think that this is a very
Yeah.
bad sign for things to come,
It
and
is.
it's only going to get worse as time goes on, as more and more people do not talk about this, because this is a very important topic that more people need to be spreading and talking about. So, with that being said, leave a like on this video. It does help out the more people becoming aware of this content and finding out what's actually going on here, because more people need to know what's happening, because this is eventually going to affect everybody. It's not going to just affect content you dislike or don't like or don't care for. It will come for you. That's how it works.
Yeah. Are you serious? Not freaking robot. But yeah, he's not wrong though. If you give a like onto his video, it helps more people find out about this information. That's important.
Best to speak up about it now than let it fester and get a lot worse. Now, this isn't the first time that I've talked about Jailburu on the channel. They have been a target of censorship for a while now. I talked about them probably 3 or so months ago. But it seems like their situation is still escalating and getting a lot worse, and it's a systematic problem that is going to eventually branch out to multiple sites around the entire internet. And so let's get into Cloudflare. So Cloudflare as a company is the actual company that is responsible for offering their services to allow the internet to function. For instance, about 2.5, 3 weeks ago, I made a video discussing that the big chunk of the internet went down. A lot of people have become aware of Cloudflare and realized that their service is pretty vital for the internet's functionality. For instance, if Cloudflare was to go down, a huge chunk of the internet just goes offline, and people are no longer able to interact or talk with each other, which indicates a huge problem, not just with, like, the reliance on Cloudflare, but also a monopoly, how massive their monopoly actually is. But because of this monopoly, they're able to pick and choose and bully other sites or groups, companies off the internet if they so deem to choose.
Yeah, but the crazy thing, and I hope this doesn't happen in the future, is I don't want Cloudflare to just basically, like, shut the internet down, basically, and we can't even communicate. Like, that'd be a crazy thing in the future for them to do. It really would. We
And
wouldn't be able to.
decided to choose Jailburu. And I feel like Jailburu is not the first site to be targeted by Cloudflare. I feel like there's probably a lot of sites that we're completely unaware of that have been hurt by Cloudflare to some degree, but we will never hear about because they were on a much smaller scale and people were relatively unaware of them. And I feel like this is getting into a deeper issue, is that Cloudflare is listening to a foreign government. They're listening to Germany to censor content on the internet.
Wait, pause it. Okay, so I looked it up. Basically, Jailbreak is like a version of Rule 34. Okay, because I was like, Chibi Reviews is saying he never talked about Jailbreak before, and I was like, what the heck is Jailbreak? I was like, oh, it's basically another version of Rule 34. Because the first page on it was exactly Rule 34. So it's like a version of Rule 34.
Internet. And
so
why I think this is a huge issue.
Putting in context, you know what that means, right? If a site like Jailbreak, which says a version of Rule 34 gets targeted, that means that Rule 34, like hentai, would get banned, bro. Say again? Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying that's why this is a problem, because if someone's trying to look at hentai, they can't do it.
Is because obviously Cloudflare in general, they're an American company. They're an American-based company. They were started in America, and so because they're an American company, they technically don't need to listen to Germany. But for some reason, they are going around the laws and regulations of America, and as an American-based company, and they are censoring free speech and legal content within America for Germany's sake. That's an inherent issue. So I want to make this a little bit more simpler to understand. Cloudflare is going after Jailbrew thanks to Germany's involvement, and Germany is forcing Cloudflare to take Jailbrew down for the entire internet. It's not just affecting, let's say, Germany, it's not affecting people that use the internet in Germany. It's affecting everyone on the entire internet not being able to access Jailbrew. That's
I mean, if you're using that other version of World 34, but like, I'm saying that like the reason I'm using it as example is because World 34 might be next after Jailbreak. Like they might be aware or something. I hope that doesn't happen.
a problem. For instance, Jailbrew doesn't house any content that is illegal in America or anything like that. It's complete legal content, and so there is no business for that content to be removed in America, if you get my point. But the fact that Cloudflare is buckling and bending and listening to Germany to do this type of censorship for the entire internet is a huge issue.
Like Germany. Bro, I swear Germany, I don't know what it is. Like, dang. Like Germany is just so like horrible, bro. Yeah.
Why is Cloudflare, a massive, monolithic company that is literally in control of a vast majority of the internet, or at least housing and allowing it to operate, listening to a foreign government? But it doesn't just stop at that. Once again, this is probably not the first example of something like this happening. Jailbrew is probably something that's become more common and people are aware of it now, but there has probably been countless sites that have been hit like this thanks to foreign governments like Germany, for instance, doing something like this and forcing Cloudflare to listen to them. So this, honestly, I'm just going to be completely blunt, needs to be investigated. This needs to be talked about because this is the same government, like Germany is the same government that will seize your electronics permanently if you criticize politicians or hurt their feelings, making jokes or memes online, play a violent video game. You will straight up actually face crimes or, actually fines or whatever.
Oh my god. That makes more sense. Another reason why I should not live in Germany anymore. Another reason to move to Japan. Don't live in Germany. Don't. Yeah, but don't live in Europe. Because if I'm correct, remember that one video we were talking about the person girl from like Norway or something like that, and you got arrested? Bro, don't even live in Europe. Don't live in Europe. All the continents, bro. Live in the
not good. Straight up very bad. And I think in general, the fact that we're listening to a government that's doing that and going against free speech and creative freedom is not a good look. So this right here is some damaging news, especially with how massive Cloudflare is. Once again, even if you don't care about Jailbrew, you don't care about the art and content on there or whatever, the fact they're able to do it, that's the problem. That is 100% a huge issue. So we have another contender in the ring that's not just payment processors like Visa and MasterCard, but now we have Cloudflare to worry about. Someone that controls a huge chunk of the internet now getting involved in something like this, and they've probably been involved for a while. Just many of us have been unaware of it. I'll leave it at that, though. I just wanted to bring this to everybody's attention because I felt this was very important to talk about. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, leave a like on it. It helps with people noticing this. Please share this with other people because more people need to be aware of what's going on. But be...
Yeah. I mean, liking the video helps the algorithm. No, not linking. I'm saying give a like on his video. Yeah. What's that one? No, we can do it. We can still do it. I don't even know what that is about. Oh my, I know, right? Okay, I don't know what the heck. IMAX? I've never heard of that before. Have you heard of that before? Okay.
One of the most influential companies that's impacted anime and manga culture as a whole has officially died today. One of the most influential companies that's impacted anime and manga
I know, right?
The culture as a whole has officially died today. Studio Gainax that has created classics like Gunbuster, Nadia, Neon Genesis, Fooly
Oh!
Cooly.
He created Evangelion! Neon Genesis Evangelion! Wait, what the heck is that? Gainax. He made Evangelion? Gainax. And they're... Wait, it is... Oh! Oh, it's the name of the studio! That's the studio that made Neon Genesis Evangelion. Oh, they went bankrupt on December 11th, 2025. What? And they made Neon Genesis Evangelion. Oh my god. Yeah, and it's just a shame that the company that made it went bankrupt December
Diebuster,
11th.
Gurren Lagann, and even Pantheon Stalking Season 1 has officially closed its doors thanks to bankruptcy. And this is the
Oh
final
man.
statement for the legacy of Studio
Oh. Dang. I mean, I know they're an old company, but holy crap though. 42 years.
Gainax
Dang.
from Hideaki Anno himself that is now in control of Studio Kara, the individuals that are now making the Neon Genesis.
Neon Genesis Evangelion. Or Neon Genesis Evangelion. So if anyone's collecting Neon Genesis Evangelion merchandise, actually, I'll be honest, it won't be new merchandise, but you can still get the old merchandise. Like you can still get Oscar figures, you can still get Ray Anime figures, you can still get all that, but you won't get new Oscar figures. You will not get new Ray Anime figures. They will not make new ones because Onyx is bankrupt. So
Genesis movies. I will get more into that in a moment. But the point is that Studio Gainax is a legendary studio that is well
oh yeah, Neon Genesis Evangelion. I mean, yeah. So it makes sense that Gainax is a legendary company. I mean, they made one of the most well-known anime, the top one,
known for
Neon
creating
Genesis
such cult
Evangelion.
classics that stand the test of time,
Yeah,
and
it's not
many
a
people
classic. Neon Genesis
recognize
is a
just these
classic.
series and how they've shaped anime and manga culture. To this
That's
very
for
day,
sure.
stuff like, for instance, Gurren
Yeah.
Lagann and Neon
Influential.
Genesis is still shaping anime and manga culture. You
Yeah,
can
it
feel the
does. Neon
DNA and
Genesis is an influential
foundations of those
anime.
series really paving the way for stuff we get today.
Yeah,
And the
definitely.
fact that such a legendary company is now closing its doors thanks to bankruptcy, it makes you wonder,
Yeah.
how did this happen? Why did this
Yeah, how
happen?
did
What
this
really
happen?
went on? And
I don't
honestly,
know.
there is a lot you could talk about the subject that you could go into hours upon hours diving into the individual news articles, to the scandals, to the tax fraud, fraud within management, to just the disgruntled, people with management and how people separated from the company to create their own individual animation studios. There's a lot of history that is
Yeah, that's
associated with Gainax,
Madhouse.
which makes a lot of sense
When they
for
made
a
Madhouse.
company, a studio that has been around for 42 years, a 42-year
42
long
years is
legacy
crazy
in
though. That's a long time.
history came
Oh
to
my
an end. And so when you have something
god.
that's lasted that long, there's definitely going to be a lot of things that's good and bad that's happened and came out of the company. And in this case, especially in the last 10 to 15 years, it's been more or less just bad news after bad news for the company than
Oh, Gainax. Oh, you're right. Neon Genesis Evangelion. Yeah, they're an old company. I mean, Neon Genesis art style. Neon Genesis art style. Yeah.
necessarily good news. And to really kind of solidify this statement, we got to look at something that came out in, like, for instance, 2019. We have the ex-Gynax president, Maki, getting sentenced to 2 years in prison. And
What? What? Wait,
Basically, this
wait, wait,
really
wait, pause, pause, pause. Look at the Crunchyroll. Look what it says. The first statement. Warning: the following story discusses sexual harassment and assault. They had to put a warning on the article.
kind of showcases how
Oh my
the
god.
company was being run, how it was not being ran by individuals that really knew how to create products, they were not being ran by good people, and it more or less was just a spiraling effect that got worse and worse over the years. I mean, in 2019, you had, for instance, Hideaki Anno, the one that, made the actual statement that I showed at the beginning of the video. He reveals why he left Gainax and how they
Oh yeah, by the way, this guy right here, he made Neon Genesis Evangelion. Oh, you seen him before? Yeah, he's the creator. That's he Akiano. Yeah, he made Neon Genesis Evangelion. That's crazy
wronged
though.
him, how he was really upset with management, and how it changed its overall perspective and course, or like its charting course for what it should be as a studio. It just, he fell out with the studio, and a lot of individual animators and directors that
I know all this stuff happened with Gainax. Oh, I know it's crazy.
were
Honestly,
a
we could have
part of
got
creating cult
Neon Genesis
classics
Evangelion
within,
on our
Gainax left the company to form their own studios. For instance, like Studio Kara, Studio Trigger, and a bunch of other studios associated along
Oh,
with that created their own studios because they no longer wanted to
you mean World Trigger? Yeah, that's another
be
anime.
associated
Yeah,
with
yeah. The name
Gainax
is
in just how
Discovery. That's
badly
not.
managed it actually was. And this more or less is a really good summary of just everything that's happened over the years. That Gainax as a studio is just riddled with nothing but mismanagement, debt, fraud, tax issues. I mean, hell, there was an individual back in like the 1990s for Studio Gainax that was arrested for tax fraud. So I think it says
Dang.
enough that there's just been so much mismanagement with funds and everything for so many years that eventually them closing their doors and going bankrupt was just, it was bound to happen. It was an inevitable, so to speak. And it's crazy, a studio that harbors such a legacy of
Yeah, Neon Genesis Evangelion. No, of course not. But the thing is that they did make Neon Genesis Evangelion in the 1990s. Yeah, because those are old projects. Those came out in the 1990s.
creating such crazy classics that still to this day people talk about,
Yeah,
analyze, and make hours upon hours long of content, of footage of it, I think says enough of just how special they were. And to see a
it is
studio
special.
go out like this, not in a joyous, heroic celebration, but more or less a dying whimper and a very pathetic end, is just crazy to see. And,
It is.
even if you don't know much about Studio Gainax, you definitely come in contact with their works to some
Yeah, Neon
shape or
Genesis.
form because of the influence of them. And so when I take a look at, like, for instance, this statement from Hideaki Anno that, is talking about the actual shutdown of Studio Gainax on, Kara's website, you could just feel the anger within his statement. Like, you get to see, like, right here, where he gets a little bit more personal, talking about, like, his history at university with his friends, the people that were a part of management and representatives at Studio Gainax. It's legitimately sad. You could see that Anno wishes that it didn't have to end up like this. That, the studio that, he started at, like, really making some crazy works with, you know, didn't end up like this, but here we are, and it's just tragedy. It's really sad. You can
Yeah,
just feel the frustration in this
tragic.
statement. You can feel the frustration in this statement too back in 2019 to, you know, all sorts of other things. Like, I mean, here's another statement that he made back in 2024 regarding the announcement that they were going to be filing for bankruptcy. You can just see that there has been a long history of just constant bad news with Gainax, and that Ano has been very disappointed with everything that's been, you know, handled or
Yeah.
how it's been handled. And it's crazy, man. It's actually just sad. So, to get into the meat and potatoes of the situation of what all this means and how does this affect series like, you know, for instance, Panty and Stalking, Neon Genesis, let's get into that. So, you're probably wondering yourself, if Studio Gainax shut down, how did we get a new season of Panty and Stalking lately? Well, that's a very easy one to explain. So, basically, Studio Trigger are the ones that adapted Panty and Stalking Season 2.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how you know it's Gynax. Cause look at the art style. That's how you know. Which one? Gurren Lagann? I heard it too. People have profile picture for this guy, Simon, I think. I'm correct, his name is Simon. Yeah, it looks like I feel like it's actually very similar. Like the whole like mecha, like Darling the Franks. Yeah, yeah.
And a few years ago, they managed to get the licensing rights from Studio Gainax, and that was why they're able to eventually make a season 2. And it was very obvious for a very long time that Studio Trigger really wanted to continue Pantheon stalking in some shape or form, they just did not have the licensing rights. And the same probably could be said for stuff like, for instance, Gurren Lagann, because as soon as Studio Trigger really found it as a company or really trying to start to make a lot of anime, they instantly created something like Kill la Kill. And anyone
Oh, Kill a Kill! Kill a Kill!
that has watched
Oh
Kill
my
la Kill
god.
knows that it's very Gurren Lagann coded. It is pretty much kind of similar to Gurren Lagann. The story themes might be slightly different, but you're not going to tell me you just do not see the similarity in the way the presentation.
Oh, so Kill a Kill is similar to Gurren Lagann?
Oh, I guess you should watch Girl Lagann then see how similar. That's crazy. Right? So Girl Lagann influenced Kill la Kill. Yeah.
Of it is done. And in this case, when you look at the entire situation, Studio Trigger for a very long time has been probably fighting for rights for not just Pantheon Stalking, but various other series that Gainax has had. And obviously, we have Studio Khara, which I've been talking about already in the video with Hideaki Anno, and how he managed to get Neon Genesis from Gainax.
Oh, but that's a good thing. Yeah, Studio Kara. Well, that's Hidaki Anno's company. He made that company. Yeah, it'll be from Studio Kara this time. So we'll still get new Neon Genesis merchandise.
For instance,
Yeah.
Gainax now has given over all their licensing to these individual studios. Like,
At least that's a good thing. Yeah, I mean, but the other thing is that the aftermath of Gainax, like the later years were bad, but the early years were good. The early years when they made Neon Genesis Evangelion, that was good, but after that, at least the other studios are still have the rights to Neon Genesis Evangelion, so they can still make new Neon Genesis Evangelion like stuff, merchandise and content, anime and films and stuff like that.
Studio Trigger now has Pantheon Stalking, you have Studio Khara has Neon Genesis, and a bunch of other different licensing for these other anime are now for different people, different companies and studios that now can continue these series in some shape or form, either through adaptations like a Season 2, Season 3.
Yeah, that'll be crazy though. But
A
I
movie
will
adaptation.
tell you one thing. Can I tell you something though? It's kind of just a perspective. They would really need to adapt that art style, that old 99's art style, if they make the season 2 or season 3. Because, like, that's the only way for it to be good. Because they have to replicate this art style in Neon Genesis Evangelion. Because this is a 99's art style. They gotta replicate this art style, bro. They need to have this art style. Because, like, it's crazy, though. Dude, they replicate this art style.
A remake, you get the
Yeah.
point. More or less, these series are no longer in licensing hell and held up in jail thanks to Studio Gainax. So the closure of Gainax is a good thing. It is.
Yeah, so that's a good thing, actually. Because I think what I'm getting is that these series basically didn't have anything new because they were like, you know, they call it development hell basically from Gynax, so they basically never ever had any development updates. So they never were ever gonna get any like now we can expect that. Comeback for Neon Genesis and Evangelion would be crazy though. Especially if it's this year, especially if it's this year. Yeah, especially if it comes out this year. 2027 or 2028.
Sad, but also a good thing because it means that these series
Yeah.
actually can get some form of continuation and actually
Yeah,
the
definitely
respect
for
and love
sure.
that they actually deserve. So this
Definitely
is
for
the
sure.
dying whimper of Gainax. They're in their legacy. The end of their long history of 42 years is them dying in
Yeah, it's a long time.
like a whimper of lawsuits, fraud, tax evasion, and their ex-president getting into legal trouble and going to prison for 2 years. That's their
Yeah.
history. It's crazy. And so I'll leave it at that. Tell me your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe, leave a like on the video. It does help me out quite a bit. Leave a comment for the algorithm. Allows more of my content to appear in everybody's YouTube feed. But be
Yeah, yeah, the comment would be fine, honestly, if you wanted to, but definitely for sure what I'm looking forward to is more Neon Genesis Evangelion stuff, honestly. Oh, I will be honest, if you do the One Punch Man one, definitely do that one video I was talking about. The one I showed you, definitely click on that one. Not that one. Wait, oh, wait. Are you doing other ones before that? Wait, but you should do that one video though. No, like go up. That's not that one, not that one. Not that one, go up. This one, this one. Yeah, that's fine. Oh
I'm
yeah.
done spending an
Huda, right? Bro, look at the name of the Twitter tweet. PayPal has applied to be a bank. What? What does that even mean, right? But they became apply to become a bank. Yeah, like what?
For the last 6 months, payment processors like Visa, MasterCard, and PayPal have been censoring the internet, stifling creative.
I know, right? Like what? I couldn't even use my Visa and MasterCard and PayPal. And from a third party site. Or I don't even think there's any other
expression,
Credit cards
censoring
being
artists
used.
on a whim, forcing Itch, a gaming
Oh, wait, go back. We'll look at this one after this one, but go back.
stifling creative expression,
Okay, this one, pause it here. Steam adult game programmer has account frozen by PayPal, 80,000 euros in earnings withheld. Well, okay, that's 80,000 euros. Well, how much is that in US? 8,000 euros in USD. Okay, that's $93,000. Yeah, so they're from United. They're from not United. They're from Europe. The person I don't know who they're talking about, but it's someone in Europe. But they got their account frozen by PayPal.
censoring artists on a whim, forcing Itch, a gaming
Okay, pause on
platform,
this one. Pause on this one. Itchio removed adult games and books. Even purchased copies are no longer downloadable. Dang. Itchio? Yeah, not that much. There's still
thousands
some
of
on
games, and if
there.
they do not, they will no longer be able to make money ever again because all these different
Yeah.
payment processors will pull out, effectively killing their company.
Are not. Patreon, yeah. I mean, the latest one he made was SFW. Yeah, it's because of Itchio.
It's pretty much
Yeah.
threatening them. The same thing also happened to Steam, to where
Okay,
if Steam
pause right here.
did
Valve, which is Steam statement regarding the game removals. Okay, let me read this. We were recently notified that certain games on Steam may violate the rules and standards set forth by our payment processors and their related card networks and banks. As a result, we are retiring those games from being sold on the Steam store because loss of payment methods would prevent customers from being able to purchase other titles and game content on Steam. Wow, what? Are you serious,
not
bro? You're
remove
moving
said content or
games?
certain games, then Steam no longer would be able to use payment processors like Visa, MasterCard, or PayPal. And then because of the damage and risk that caused to
Pause right
Steam,
here. Steam rules updated to prohibit content that violates rules set forth by payment processors and banks. Valve's rules regarding what developers shouldn't publish on Steam have a new clause regarding standards set for pirate process. What? Yeah, but like this right here, it makes no sense. So basically, if you make a ASFW hentai JRPG game, you can't put it on Steam. This says shouldn't publish on Steam. What do you mean you shouldn't publish on Steam? You should. Like,
Steam created an
Dream
entirely
Steam.
new policy to accommodate payment processors and say, yes, Master, we will kiss your boot. We will censor anything that you
That's crazy. Like, what?
want us to say.
Okay, well, this article is from July 16th. Yeah, but this article is from July 16th, but this video is from December 15th, I think.
But it didn't just stop there. Even with Pandora's box opened and Steam trying to do the best they can to accommodate payment processors, PayPal still decided to
Wait, okay. Valve explained why using PayPal for Steam purchases isn't currently an option in a whole bunch of countries. PayPal use on Steam is currently unavailable in my. I'm probably gonna read all of this, but I think we kind of right now. Okay, wait. This affects Steam purchases using PayPal in currencies other than euros, Canadian dollars, Great Britain pounds, Japanese yen, Australian dollars, and United States American dollars. I don't know, but supposedly they're becoming a bank. What does that even mean? I mean, does that mean I get a PayPal card, like a bank card or something? 'Cause I have Wells Fargo. That's my bank. My bank is Wells Fargo.
back out on most countries around the world where you no longer could buy games with PayPal on Steam's platform. And this
That's
goes to
crazy.
show just how much control that these companies have and how much
To do things that they don't want to do.
damage they can do to so many people around the world if they just do not like you. Hell, I'm not even getting into the absolute disaster.
Okay, pause right here. Okay, so this says, oh, I heard this one. DL site where Visa and MasterCard can no longer use also accepts electronic money like PayPay. So if you're having trouble paying for methods, please take this as reference. Okay, so this is Japan on DL site. Yeah, or you have to have a Japanese credit card like PayPay, Family Pay, like that's Family Mart, Big Cash, Line Pay. So you have to actually live in Japan to buy something from DL site. I know.
That these payment processors have done to anime and manga.
I think it's because the VPN is based in the United States of America. Like the United States of America company made that VPN.
In Japan, or just censoring Japanese sites,
Okay, what part
censoring
here?
Japanese.
TLDR and English Visa has suspended services to a matchmaking site for Japanese otaku, and no reasons are given, nor is there any indication of criminal and illegal activity. Again, the issue is very real. Okay, so what I'm getting is that it's like a romantic site for if you are a Japanese otaku and you want to find a woman that was also Japanese otaku and you can't use the card for it. I don't know.
Like otaku dating apps, literally for
Dang,
Japanese people to
dating app.
date, which, if you do not know, Japan has a population crisis, and the fact that payment processors went after a dating app in Japan is
That's crazy.
insane, which caused a lot of backlash from Japan, which then payment processors decided to back off and allow the app to function, but it doesn't stop there. The point is that these payment processors, they will continue to push and push and push and push and censor and control as much.
I know, right? Like what? Even if it's 18 plus. I know, right?
Exactly. Like what?
Yeah, for real. Like,
As they
it's not.
can, because they can get away with it. And the reason for that is because they have a monopoly. They work together hand in hand, and they're able to dictate the market.
Yeah.
And you really have no other person you can turn to be able to use as a payment processor. For instance, let's give a good example here. If you're going to buy stuff as goods, like you're going to go buy groceries, you're going to go and buy something from a site, most of the people around the world are going to be using Visa or they're going to be using a MasterCard. Let's just be completely honest. And so what
We've all been using it.
if the most used cards around the world, basically a monopoly, you no longer could use those cards to buy stuff on a certain site because this site didn't want to bow down to censorship. More or less what that means is that company would straight up die.
Yeah.
And so
Exactly.
this is the overall control and power that these payment processors have. It's gotten completely out of hand. And this is just a very brief summary on everything that's happened just in the last few months. I mean, I didn't even talk about the stuff in UK.
Repeal the online safety act. Okay, so dang, we got almost 400,000 that want the online safety act to not happen. No, it says 100,000. It says 100,000 though. Hopefully.
With its, like,
But this is
Kids
Europe.
Online Safety Act. I haven't even talked about the stuff in
Wait, I'm pausing here. Chat control is a malware on your device, Signal slams the European Union proposal to scan your private chats. Encrypted messaging apps, Signal said it could leave Europe instead of weakening encryption if the go pass. Basically, this is basically a version of Messenger. Basically, if you're using this Signal application in Europe, basically, if you're sending a private DM, this chat control team can see every single messages.
The EU with its chat control and, basically having to do age verification laws and constantly age verify yourself.
Okay, pause right here. European will require people to undergo monthly age verification just for going on, which we actually, if you saw our video, it was saying that if you were in Europe, you had to verify on Google every 3 months. Yeah, and that's Google we're talking about, by the way. Yeah, every 3 months.
Every 3 months just to be able to access the
see?
internet. I'm not talking about the stuff even with the
Okay, I'll pause right here.
Oh my gosh, this is important. Australian under 16 now banned from some social media. So if you're using Facebook, Instagram, Kik, Reddit, Snapchat, I don't know what this is, TikTok, Twitch, Twitter, or YouTube, you are banned. You're banned in Australia. Discord, GitHub, Google Classroom, Lego Play, Messenger, Pinterest, Roblox, Steam, Instant Chat, WhatsApp, YouTube. Bro, what? And by the way, this is Australia. Australia. But you know what I think is stupid though? Not just the whole Australia thing, but like, look at the applications that are special exempt. Google Classroom? Like what? Google Classroom? Really? Lego Play? Really? YouTube Kids? Really? Bro, why are they specifically exempt? Bro, no one uses Google Classroom, no one uses Lego Play, and no one uses the Kids, bro. But if I'm trying to do, I don't know, YouTube. I'm trying to be on YouTube in Australia. I can't use it in Australia. YouTube.
Australia under 16 ban. I'm not even mentioning this stuff in.
Okay, pause right here. This is actually United States of America. So we have Supreme Court allows Mississippi age verification law to take effect, advancing online digital ID push. The fight over age is rapidly coming about over the period of non-online. Okay, by the way, you know where Mississippi is? It's literally 2 states away west of Georgia. Like, that's Mississippi. That's near Alabama.
United States with
Mississippi?
a bunch of different laws that also is
Mississippi.
trying to censor the internet and do age verification with facial scans or ID. There's just a lot going on. But
Like,
strictly
what?
speaking, I want to talk about payment processors for a second because this news is just insane. The fact that PayPal has the cojones, they think they have the right to actually do something like this is in.
Bro, a bank? PayPal's applied to become a bank. Well, I guess if you're using America Bank, there's a new bank. PayPal is a thing now. You can go to PayPal store and get a bank card. All right, bro. Like, bro, Wait, all right, okay. There's a Cruncher advertisement. Wait, who is this? Isn't this that one thing? Isn't it that one anime?
So what's the verdict?
All yes,
gorgeous.
No, it's that R one's the panties, whatever.
So let's just get right in.
Right? Isn't that the panties anime? Alia speaks in Russian. Dang.
Into the meat of the story. Present day content on why this is just hilarious and also, in a way, good news. So let's get right into that. PayPal has applied to become a bank. And you're probably wondering to yourself, how is this good news after everything I just said? Well, we're going to get right into that. So earlier this year, back in August, there was an executive...
what I'm saying is kind of funny is that imagine just walking down the street and you see PayPal's a bank. Okay, wait, what is it? This is? It says guaranteeing fair banking for all Americans. By the I have to probably Oh yeah, you're right. I won't read this one. I won't read this one. No, the Twitter things I did because I just kind of needed to. Yeah, but I was saying the Australia thing. The Australia thing was important though. Like, yeah, I definitely have to set that one.
By our current president of the United States called the Guaranteeing Fair Banking for All Americans. Now, I know that this isn't technically good news for those that live outside of America, but why this is good news technically and why you should be watching this even if you're outside of America is because it means that there is attention on these banks and what they've been doing and how they've been operating like kind of a cartel, mafia, censoring different content, debanking people. It's become a huge issue. And more or less what this executive order does to just simplify it in the best way possible, these banks will no longer be able to censor you, remove your access to being able to get your money.
True. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit lost. I don't even know. I'm trying to understand what the good thing from this is too, because when I think of banks, I think of I get a credit card, I can use it on things. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's what I know about banks because I
Or
don't
buy
know.
legal
Oh
purchases
wow.
of content because they deem it a brand risk. For instance, if a game is legal to buy on Steam, it's legal in the United States, these banks
Yeah,
cannot
it's legal.
stop you from buying that and using your money to
Well,
buy
I mean
said
that's true.
content.
That is
That's
true.
more
That they can't stop me from buying um hentai game, and it's a WJRPG game. They can't stop me. They cannot stop you.
or less
Yeah, they
what
cannot stop
this
you.
guaranteeing fair banking for all Americans is.
It should be
It's
fair.
more or less just a big like, no, you cannot censor people from buying legal
True.
content. And this is
True.
where the good news.
Well, well, I understand it. Saying because if PayPal becomes a bank you can go to, you can get a PayPal card, and you can use a PayPal card to buy things on Steam. PayPal will be its own thing. Yeah, it won't even be Visa or Master. It'll be its own thing. Oh yeah, you're right. That's true as well. Oh yeah, there's a thing where I think it's called private.com, and you can basically make your own credit cards. You can put a set amount, and you can just use that card to buy it. Because my dad told me about that. Yeah, my dad told me about that website before. Yeah, it's a temporary card for certain services, but it's still connected to the bank card. It's just, but it won't like it will go through though. It will go through though because the PayPal card or the IronMouse account or Cash App.
Comes into play with PayPal trying to become a bank. So PayPal at this current time is not a bank. So if it
What were
does
you gonna do
become a bank, it means that it would actually have to follow the rules and regulations of the fair banking, access to banking that was an executive order earlier.
Yeah.
This year. Now, the big issue here with this entire situation is that this is an executive order. This isn't codified into law. This isn't like an official law or anything like that that could stay around for decades upon decades. This is just an executive order. So, this more or less is a stopgap. It's not a permanent solution unless it's codified into law. So, that is always the worry here thanks to this. But the point of the matter is that if theoretically PayPal does become a bank relatively soon, they will have to follow these regulations, which means that all the censorship and bullcrap they've been pulling for a very long time will no longer be able to fly. And
Yeah, because there'll be a PayPal card. Yeah. But it will be
I'm going to give examples of some of the damage they have caused to people just in the last few months. Like, here's a good example. Back in August of this year, someone was trying to buy adult ebooks, online, legal content, and apparently their entire account broke terms of service for PayPal, and it's just gone. They got banned. And that is just insane. Imagine buying legal content, even if it's adult content, you don't like adult content or whatever, using your own money, your own funds, and purchasing this legal content, and then your account is just banned for it. It's just like, what?
That's
why?
crazy.
But obviously, there's another example here. You have this individual right here, which has a big following, as you can see, over 173,000 followers. Huge following, by the way.
Look at the description. I'm sorry. It caught me off guard.
They made this post back in August, around the same time with all this, censorship of the internet, payment processors kind of
I said I was sorry about it.
Wrapping up, getting out of control, and a bunch of different stuff around the internet getting censored, like gaming, for example. Pretty much we had PayPal censor this creator, remove their PayPal, pretty much suspend it, and it also was associated with Patreon as well.
That'd be crazy.
This entire situation is just extremely messed up. Pause the video and read this for yourself. It's just crazy. It's wild. And there is many people that have talked about this situation. Like, for instance, not just this individual has called out PayPal and had their account just removed overnight, but many artists, many creators and animators just lost their PayPal source of income overnight because of censorship and brand protection that PayPal wants to kind of do. And so the reason why this whole situation with PayPal is so important is if they actually do become a bank, I wonder if they will be forced to reinstate these accounts, forced to actually allow these people to come back and gain access to their money. I've heard actual stories of people that have had their accounts removed, and they've lost access to thousands of dollars. Like, for example, I remember seeing a post months ago when all this was going down. Someone had like $4,000 in their PayPal account, and their account got suspended, and they no longer could access their funds or money in that PayPal account. They effectively lost their entire money overnight, and they couldn't even access that to pay.
That's $4,000. I know, right?
Their bills, and that's a problem. PayPal basically stole money, and apparently this is something that is continuously happening with PayPal. So I think in general, if they become a bank, they are opening the door up for either potential lawsuits or just they're not going to be able to get away with something like this. But never let this company, never let PayPal ever forget what they have done to thousands upon thousands of people over the years, destroying people's lives overnight. It is not okay. And I want to tell you right now that more people need to be talking about this, because this is a pretty big deal that they're becoming a bank because of their status as what they've done over the years of just censoring people. I think that people need to be very vocal about this and say, if you're going to become a bank, you need to uncensor everybody. You need to allow them to have their money back. You need to allow people to access the platform again, because you're going to have to follow the law. You're going to have to follow the guaranteeing fair banking for all Americans. Now, once again, this doesn't mean that it will give fair banking to people outside of the United States, but it is a start. And I hope if this causes PayPal to have to rein themselves in, it will cause an actual ripple effect around the world that would lead to some good news for a change. But, yeah, I wanted to talk about this, because this was a pretty big deal, this stuff, because censorship has gotten out of hand. There's just so much that's been going on in this last 6 months alone, and it's insane. And it's getting worse, though. It is actually getting worse. There's so much other stuff that's going on right now with, like, the stuff in the United States. There's so many age verification laws right now, and it's so hard to keep up, because it's just something new every single day, and it's overwhelming. I'm not even gonna lie, it's very overwhelming with just how much the internet is under attack by so many different avenues, either through activist groups, through payment processors, through governments that are trying to assume control, companies trying to invade your privacy and sell your data, just so many different things. It's really bad, and it's just getting worse and worse, and at least at the end of the day, there is some good news here with this situation, and I think indirectly PayPal doesn't realize this, but maybe they do, I don't know, but this could lead to them having to reinstate people that have been censored. I'll leave it at that, though. Tell me your thoughts in the comments below, how you feel about this, how do you feel about what PayPal has done, or payment processors in general. I love you guys, be safe, stay healthy.
Yeah, I know, right? I know, right? Yeah, oh, we definitely need to do a thing for that anime I was talking about, the one where they actually had it on. Okay, alright, here we go. Let's continue then. Alright. I haven't even watched it, so I have no idea. If I did, I'll let you know, but like, I didn't know if I was watching that. Alright. Alright, let's do this one.
This may be the last
Oh my gosh! Oh, the white screen.
Wait, unpause it. Okay. Some people are just really negative. Hi.
Alright.
And then just check out Charlie.
I'm about to cover some nuclear level drama that is probably going to get me in a lot of trouble. And you know what? I'm still going to talk about it because it is probably one of the best representations of gatekeeping I think I have ever seen for anything in recent years. For anime, manga, gaming, etc. It is just insane level of gatekeeping that honestly, I can't help but respect. Like, massive respect to the Blue Archive community for doing what they did in the last 24 hours. So I'm getting way ahead of myself. Let's explain what's going on here. So this is a now deleted post from the official Blue Archive social media account where they were
Oh, wait! Oh, yeah, this guy has his own anime. This guy keeps making his own anime. The first person showing up on there. How do you see? The first guy.
This guy?
Yeah, he has his own anime. He's pretty
Okay,
cool.
so
This is sort of mine.
I'm not gonna
Take it
lie. I'm kind of like Chibi Reviews in this
Heck off.
situation. I'm actually still confused on what's going on. Like, Blue Archive, you know what's going on, or
Yeah,
are
I
you
don't.
lost as well?
I'm lost as well. He's gonna
Alright.
explain it. Just give it a second. IronMouse and these guys. I know these are. One guy's really famous and the other have YouTubers.
announcing that they were going to be doing an influencer campaign with these 4 individual content creators to sponsor Blue Archive. And after a lot of backlash, for instance, the entire Blue Archive community was furious.
Okay, what is
Blue Archive?
Another title block?
I don't know what that is.
Blue Archive. I got you. Hi.
Because I haven't even heard Blue Archive was before. Yeah.
With this announcement, eventually Blue Archive was forced to make this official statement. Hello Sensei, this is Blue Archive. We sincerely apologize for any confusion and concern caused by the Blue Archive influencer campaign. We take the valuable feedback you have shared with us very seriously. After eternal review and discussion, we have decided not to proceed with this influencer campaign. Moving forward, we will strive to communicate in ways that better align with the direction of Blue Archive and the expectations.
Okay, so promotions-wise for so it's basically about the people who stream the game on Twitch and stuff.
Okay.
The VTubers and the YouTubers.
I'm sure we're trying to
Basically, the game, there's controversy with the game because in the whole promoting thing when they're promoting it, there's been some the backlash.
I don't know.
We're into this, so I don't know much.
I didn't even
of
know what Blue
Sensei.
Archive
We
was.
would like to sincerely thank all Sensei who continue to support Blue Archive and share their valuable feedback with us. We will do our utmost to deliver a better experience and continue improving Blue Archive. Now, when I first read this, I was still pretty confused. I was like, okay, they obviously canceled the influencer campaign, and the Blue Archive community is extremely upset about the individuals that were chosen for the influencer campaign, but I was still like, okay, but why? Well, I went to Twitter and I actually asked this question. I was like, okay, completely out of the loop, what exactly happened? And more or less, I got the same response over and over, and I feel like this picture more or less really sums.
Blue Archive announced collaboration.
Okay, I see.
Player pedophiles players defend your rage. They cancel collaboration immediately. Don't let anyone tell you that your voice is mad because it does. Okay.
Okay, so basically, not the streamers. I'm sure it's not all the streamers. One of them, something happens that basically, we called the players. Basically, they had some backlash because they called the players pedophiles.
Oh.
I don't know how that relation would, how that,
First of all, I never heard Blue Archive. Like, this is my first time hearing about Blue Archive.
I know what Blue Archive is. It's a game.
I mean, we looked it up. But I'm saying beforehand, I didn't know what it was.
Yeah. But we'll see. Let's see what else he has to say about the
Blue
situation.
Archive announces collaboration with streamers who call the players PDFs. Fans get outraged. They cancel the collaboration immediately. Don't let anyone tell you that your voice doesn't matter, because it does. So let me get this straight. Blue Archive, a very well-known and controversial gacha game that is known for its lolly characters and...
Okay, so yeah, it is, but it's fictional.
There's lolly characters.
Gatekeeping community, they decided to choose influencers that hate Blue Archive, will call the community PDFs if they like lolly characters, and are unable to separate fiction from reality. No wonder the community was crashing out. No.
Okay, so yeah, I don't know. I haven't read into this. I don't know how true that is. Maybe we'll explain it more, but maybe it's a bad video about this. Anyway, I don't know.
It got so bad that Blue Archive had to make an official statement saying they're canceling the influencer campaign, because it's like, yeah, if I want to be honest, if I was aware of this and fully was aware of this, I would be on that side too. I would be outcrying and be upset too, because it's like, why the hell would you collaborate with individuals that don't just hate your game, don't just hate the content within your game, they will openly mock your community and also...
Well, I need this is I have to beat her, but if I did the song, this guy, okay, like, it's crazy that they would do that, like...
Yeah. These
are 4 streamers that are very
I'm sorry to
yes, this is gatekeeping. They had to gatekeep because the 4 streamers didn't want to be appropriate and mature about it.
I think I was starting to understand what's going on.
Yeah, I think I'm getting it as well. Basically, the 4 streamers do not like Blue Archive. They call it lolly and stuff because of a lolly character. Yeah, IronMouse is an amazing VTuber, but to see that they are part of this 4 people, it's terrible.
Yeah, but you say Giga.
Because I look up to VTubers, like, I want to become a VTuber one day. So, did you hear about...
The first
yeah, so, yeah, he does. He made his own anime, so it's hard to believe he would be part of this. I don't believe it.
Also call people PDFs for playing your game. I mean, why would you ever want to collaborate with individuals that would do something like that? So yeah, it's a no-brainer why the community for Blue Archive was crashing out when that announcement got made. And I'm just gonna say, good on the Blue Archive community for really just speaking up, really getting their voices heard.
Yeah, because they don't like it. They don't like what those streamers were doing. I was in the community pissed too, like, because of the streamers, and they crazy the crowd because those the collabers, they're not good people. They're not good people. They're not good people. You don't call out because they like the game. Like, that doesn't make them lolicons so pedophiles. It just makes them...
lolicons that one that we had a report on that one day.
Yeah.
And getting the entire event canceled. Now, I do want to clarify a few things before I go any further. Apparently, the individual that is responsible for why the community was crashing out is actually Sea Dog.
Okay, so it wasn't these three. These three are good. It's Sea-Dog. Okay, I was like, you guys don't seem like they did anything bad.
Sea-Dog.
It's Sea-Dog.
Okay. Get
What
ready
is
for
Sea-Dog?
this.
What
Get
do you
ready
think?
for. I don't even know who Sea-Dog is.
I know I thought you like, how you knew IronMouse
Apparently
was,
there is a
yeah,
clip of him pretty much calling people PDFs for, liking lolly characters or, anime.
Really?
That doesn't make you a lolicon. Holy shit, are you dumb as fuck?
What?
You must be a dumb mouse sucker if you don't know what you're
Characters
talking
in
about.
general not being able to separate fiction from reality.
I don't know. It's popular enough, I guess. It's actually not too bad, to be honest with you. I'm not exactly a fan of Manga Sensei, but this is actually a pretty solid.
I think you'd have the FBI
Oh, that's Sea-Dog.
Okay, buddy.
knocking if you said you were.
Well, I mean, John should be used to that by now, right?
Now, I personally haven't seen the clip or anything like that. I'm just going to be completely blunt. But what I am trying to say here is that, I can understand now why the community is upset if that is indeed the case. Because, as you all know, I've been very vocal on, fiction is fiction, separate fiction from reality. It's not real, it's not harming anyone, it's just pixels.
Yeah, it's just pixels.
Bro,
So
like,
it's hard
Sea-Dog,
ways. So,
I don't know if
yeah,
you're
sure, I see that you don't like the content.
passionate.
I don't know what it is, I don't know
swear
who
you're
it is.
not, because you are just calling out that people are a lolicon when
That makes sense, but they're not. Just because someone likes that doesn't make them
advocate
lolicon.
for freedom of expression within art, and just because it makes you feel uncomfortable, it's icky or whatever, at the end of the day, it's just a drawing. It's not real.
Yeah.
It's not hurting anyone. Leave it be. You can find it weird or whatever, that's fine. But at the end of the day, calling people PDFs over fiction, that's a step.
Do not do that.
That's wrong. That is crazy. You can't do that.
Like, Sea-Dog, seriously.
If you want to find real PDF files, go to Discord. Go to
And I
the
think the
archives. Find them in
craziest
there.
part is that Sea-Dog said this publicly. Everyone heard
He said this
that.
publicly,
And now he's in controversy.
and they're mad.
Way too far.
I mean,
that's
his fault.
crazy.
He's
You're insane. You're mentally ill. Take your pills. You're a schizo. That's
True.
exactly what you are. And so, if Sea-Dog, in fact, has called people PDFs for Blue Archive or just lolly characters or whatever, or just anime in general, then yeah.
That's crazy.
Understandable why the community wanted to gatekeep this and they wanted this event entirely canceled. Good on Blue Archive. I'm just going to say, 100% a win. And so, I'm going to say right here, wow, this is what the anime community needs to do. Like, the anime community needs to do more stuff like this. Like, we need to learn from example from the Blue Archive community and do this for the anime community. Like, the anime community needs to be like, look, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of individuals trying to come in and censor everything, remove fan service.
True.
Yeah, stop. This is censorship.
We don't need people like Sea-Dog to be...
Yeah, get the fuck off Twitter, Sea-Dog. Like, yeah, how come you should be able to talk to you about this? I was just in his chat. Like, I'm not gonna start harassing these haters, but...
Account. Does he? I swear he still has a Twitch account, bro. I swear if he's live right now.
Yeah, that's what it is, which is crazy.
I'm gonna just be like, I'm gonna be mad, bro. I would be mad.
Like, bro, you can't do that. You can't say that about people without evidence.
It's not even
evidence
just that.
They've done.
He's basically
It's that you're going after a community.
From fiction. He's assuming people. He's calling people names that are not true. You can't say it, lolicon or whatever. Like, that's not what they are. Yeah. Obviously, you're not passionate about anime. You're just
inappropriate man. It's immature. You're a grown ass man. You're a grown ass man, and you're doing shit like this.
This is your picture, Sea-Dog. Like, this is you.
Bro, he was so small. Like, he just did the best thing in his life in his whole career. Like, come on, man.
Alcohol in the background? Is that just me?
It looks like he has some type of drink to them.
Like what? But seriously though, oh my god.
He's the only one that stands out of the three. I was like, why is he looking so smart?
Yeah, because like, look.
It's because he's...
Jagug has his own anime. Zentrea, IronMouse are VTubers. That makes sense. But we have a freaking Sea-Dog here looking all smug with the alcohol in the background, thinking he's gonna plan something, be evil. be evil or something. You're looking all
call you a PDF or just
Yeah.
watch a certain anime that isn't a shonen series. I really hope that this inspires more people to understand that your voices can be heard and can cause change if you speak up loud enough. I love this. Great stuff, honestly. But yeah, more or less, I wanted to talk about this. I thought this was very interesting, very nuclear level drama. I don't normally try to insert myself into drama with other content creators, but this is a pretty big deal. I saw this and I was just like, you know what? This aligns with a lot of my beliefs and what I believe in and what I talk about continuously on the channel.
Yeah.
So yeah, obviously I wanted to talk about this. And to be completely honest with you, I like Blue Archive. I love the designs and stuff.
I didn't play it. I might play it though. It
So,
sounds fun.
yeah, I mean, one of my favorite scenes of Blue Archive is, you know, the feet scene. Keeping it real.
Okay, buddy, I see what you want. That's
It's fetish?
According to your content, dude. Yeah, I don't think it's as bad as you just saying it's not. He's just saying it's not. But I really think Chibi Reviews is an awesome guy.
I mean, I'm glad he comes out about that. He's not
yeah, I love the content. I love the content this guy makes. He points things out.
His own, like, personal, like, his own, like...
Yeah, this video should not be taken down by any means. It's not harassment. He's just a bad thing to... See, now he was an asshole, and he probably himself is...
Yeah, but bro, look at his image. Look at his picture compared to the other three.
Well, so smart. Like he just won the lottery with his words. You did not.
Oh my god, bro. Like, bro,
everyone looks so like
bro.
aesthetic and stuff. Everyone looks so like having aesthetics and stuff, but he just looks like a normal creepy guy apple. Wait, what is he doing? What is this guy thinking he's doing today? But yeah, I love Chibi Reviews the video. He's an awesome person. He makes awesome videos, and just like like his videos, comment, subscribe. Yeah, subscribe to this guy's channel. He's an amazing person.
And comment as well.
Yeah,
comment as well if you have a comment.
Like this guy's awesome. I love his videos.
So, I mean, look, I'm happy for Blue Archive. This is a huge win for the community. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe, leave a like on the video, leave a comment, helps with the algorithm, but be safe.
Yeah, do all that thing.
Yeah, definitely.
He's very awesome. Alright. Yeah, some of these videos like not as long. Yeah, this not. Playing on this next one. How musically?
Oh, here we go.
Okay, this is like another win. No, not you, buddy. I don't want to.
DLC.
Okay. No way! This sounds like awesome news.
Japanese content platform DLC gets its own official credit card amidst Visa and MasterCard suspensions. The new card offered by Vivian and JCB is meant to ensure consumers can still use DLC and related services for peace of mind. Alright.
So they're done with the censorship. They are done with payment processors like Visa and MasterCard. They're done with anime being censored, manga being censored, visual novels being censored, light novels being censored, anything in between. They are done with Visa and MasterCard doing what they've been doing to them for years now. And there is no better evidence to support this than this article that came out earlier this morning. Now, before I get into this article, do not mistake this article for the article we got back in October of this year. Obviously, the same picture is used, but the actual title and everything is completely different. It has similar issues being discussed, but there is differences within these articles, and so do not mistake the news that we got today for December for the stuff we got back in October. I will give clarity to the differences in a moment, but right now, let's get into the stuff that came out today. Japanese content platform DL Site gets its own official credit card amidst Visa and MasterCard suspensions. Automatically a huge win for us.
Yeah.
That's nice. I'm glad to see we're making
Article,
That is
progress.
If we
great.
scroll down, we start reading this. Vivian, the company running major Japanese digital content platform DL Site, announced on December 19th that it will launch its own official credit card meant to ensure consumers can use DL Site and related services with peace of mind. Offered through the domestic credit card company JCB, the Vivian JCB card appears to be yet another effort by
Oh my god, I should buy
Wait,
that!
look at the
We need that!
Ocean ranking 7 days. Look at the top 4.
Yeah, those things look really
Look at number
nice.
1, 2, and 3.
Then, I need some more.
the company to
I
offer
just noticed it says
self-reliant methods
ASMR, right?
Yeah, I'm always still confused about what ASMR means. I don't
Can you
know.
load a sound for me?
Attractive sound.
of payments. And if you scroll down, it
Yeah,
still continues.
yes.
DL Site is home to a range of content, both adult and SFW, including comics, games, doujins, and ASMR, published by indies and big companies alike. In April 2024, the platform ran into trouble with international payment processors after refusing to do away with its 18-plus content, leading to payment processors through Visa and MasterCard and American Express being suspended on the platform. To this day, the domestic JCB is the only credit card brand supported on the site. Likely to counter this,
Okay.
Vivian has decided to issue its own credit
Okay, what's Vivian?
Vivian is the name of the company that makes what is this called? DL Site.
Totems.
cards.
Yes,
Specifically, the
okay.
Vivian
Okay.
JCB card is so-called virtual credit card users can create through a dedicated mobile app free of charge. Opting for a physical card does come with a $20 fee. To encourage adoption, the company will offer a 4% point return rate for the
Wait, you mean we get 4% money back from every purchase?
purchases made on DL Site and other Vivian services from January 26th to July 31st, 2026.
That's
So
nice!
basically, you could also get these physical cards, but for $20 extra though, if you want a physical actual DL Site card.
How much are they, would you say? $20? Like $20 actual, how much would those be?
I mean, it just says that the cards cost $20 if you want the physical one, but you can get
Okay,
the
that's
first one
okay,
free
$20.
from the mobile
Yes,
application.
first thing I do when I get my big fat paycheck is buying
know.
one of these. That sounds amazing. Vivian! What? Yeah, High school,
And then
that
if you
sounds
continue on,
awesome.
the article continues. It says, interestingly, this comes after Vivian launched a semi-in-house direct payment method called Mina no Genko in October of this year. It seems the company is trying to secure as many alternatives as possible after losing the widely adopted Visa and MasterCard. So this more or less kind of perfectly explains this other article that I mentioned at the beginning of the video, is that this was an in-house payment process that DL Site decided to do. For instance, Mina no Genko, they introduced this. It is something completely different from like the credit card that they're establishing now. It was a completely different process. So now DL Site has basically two different methods of payment. Actually, three. If you're talking about regular JCB, this new credit card that they're doing their own official card, and then also their actual alternative payment.
No,
What?
I'm just saying that there's actually 3 different methods of payment for DL Site.
That's not
processor, which is,
nice,
the
because
Mina no
Queenie does
Genko.
new
So
payments.
they have now 3 different ways that you can buy stuff on their site, and they're trying to open up more avenues and alternative payments to kind
So they're still making more. Well, probably just to make up for the 3 that got cancelled. They're making 3 more with the 3 lost.
of counteract what Visa and MasterCard and
Nice.
American Express did to their company. Legitimately massive win for the Japanese, massive win for DL Site, massive win for, anti-censorship. It is just straight up amazing to see something like this, and honestly, it's expected. Like, if these companies want to play absolute awful mafia-like tactics with multiple companies around the world and act like they are in a position of power to do stuff like this, then obviously there will be a company that rises up to fight back against Visa and MasterCard and, have an alternative method to get around their censorship-like ways. And this is how you create competition. This is how you cause people to rise up against you.
Yeah, that's how you get them. That's what we should be doing. We should get more people like politician to stop this censorship. It sucks. I hate the censorship and I hate what team's doing. So, it's nice to see that we're gonna get Bill to do, like, Visa services like that. We have the
and no
cards.
longer want to use your service, because that's what's exactly happening here. If this continues to gain traction and DL site, tries to offer this alternative method to other sites around in Japan, or hell, even try to expand overseas, then this theoretically could counteract what Visa and MasterCard have been doing to, Japan.
Yeah, so right now, I think you can only get this in Japan.
Oh yeah.
I think that's what
Yeah, I
I'll get.
believe so.
It's not I'm looking to buying it, but even so, this is a card I will try to get once I'm in Japan.
Yeah, in Japan.
What they've been doing to anime, manga, what they've been doing to gaming, what they've been doing to the internet. This would be a nice counter to that. So, I'm obviously talking about this to spread awareness of DL site fighting back. They are legitimately not buckling and bending. They're not bowing down to Visa and MasterCard. They are straight up saying, no, we're taking the fight directly to you. We will create our own method of payment, for we never even have to deal with you ever again. You're completely cut out. You'll never make money from us. You'll never even get to see what we're doing anymore. Honestly, incredible stuff. I really do appreciate what DL site is doing. They are now technically, at this point in time, I think the leader, or like the person running the charge against these payment processors in Japan, because they are the first big site I think I'm aware of. I could be wrong, there might be others, but this is the first big site to actually actively fight back against them and try to give all
and that means more people that are more sites are gonna be doing this, like if they start facing censorship and stuff.
Means to counteract what Visa and MasterCard have been doing. But yeah, just amazing news. I'm very happy to see this. I'm very happy that DL site did not bow down to censorship, and that they are willing to stand their ground and fight for what they want. And honestly, I'm going to see if I can even get one of these cards. I don't know if I can, because I don't live in Japan. I don't know if this is just strictly just for people that live in Japan can get a card like this. But the fact that you can apparently get a virtual one, I'm assuming I might be able to. But if I can, I'm definitely going to get one. Obviously, this is not me sponsored or anything by them, but I'm going to just do it out of my own will, because
How did it like showing the prices? Like, it's actually showing how much it is in dollars rather than it is in Japanese.
Because I think you can probably buy it in the United States of America.
Want to support their actions here. This is a really good thing that they're doing, and after everything that we have been seeing what Visa and MasterCard have been doing to so many different things, I'm going to see if I can. But if I can't, I can't. But if I can't, at the very least, this video is made to spread awareness of it for those that are in Japan that can help and support this. Here you go. So yeah, I'll leave it at that. Great news today. Not bad news for once.
Yeah, very another big win. We're getting a lot of wins this year.
Hopefully you all enjoyed this video and you enjoyed the news I offered you guys today. If you like this video, leave a like on it. It does help me out a lot. Please leave a comment. Helps with the algorithm. Chibi out.
Very iconic. I think that the next video I will probably finish up most of these videos, because we're almost really halfway. Last time I didn't get enough done because I just couldn't make the videos by getting long enough. Yeah. Alrighty. I'm trying to say, I don't know, I hate this between last reacting and this live, like commenting on it. Oh, I'm trying to see. Okay, it's One Punch Man. Okay. Yeah, so we'll probably watch this, and maybe end it off with, this, and probably this. We're getting closer to the first week, so like, kind of like the first week of July. Alright. So, that's really... What the fuck? Okay. Yeah.
Right?
Sorry, shit. That's okay, we'll cut that out of the video. We need to watch it.
Let me just read this. Okay, so anyway, Sony is developing AI that senses games in real time. Sony is developing a patent-pending AI system capable of real-time censorship of video game content. It automatically detects and modifies mature or sensitive materials such as violence, gore, social content, and profanity. The technology uses AI to analyze unspoken visuals and audio in real time, dynamically intervening by meaning dialogue, blurring, and mask elements, or replacing assets like black text or character models to reduce the. That's stupid.
That is
What?
stupid.
Sony.
It's been months since I played a
But, like,
Sony
no,
game.
but
Maybe I
listen,
haven't finished
Sony-
Spider-Man 2.
Doesn't Sony owns Crunchyroll,
Seriously,
right?
son? And Disney.
Okay,
Stupid
bro,
Sony.
Sony, why are you doing this, man? That's stupid, bro.
There's no point. You have good games coming out. Why are you doing this shit?
Like, what?
Sony goes completely mask off and announces that they're going to be censoring video games in real time going forward with their patent-pending
That's
AI
stupid,
system
bro.
capable of real-time censorship of video
That's
game
really stupid,
content.
bro.
It will detect and modify mature or sensitive content.
No.
And this is just horrendous news to really close off
No,
2025
why?
with. But obviously, this news gets a lot worse, and I'm going to be
Oh, no.
talking about it within this video, because I know you saw the title, and I also mentioned anime in it, and we will talk about that in just a moment.
Oh,
but
wait,
first
wait,
off, let's
wait,
read
pause
this
it, pause
article.
it. So you know how I was saying that
Give me a sec.
Sony owns Crunchyroll, right? I really hope this does does not mean they're gonna use AI, real-time AI, to censor anime. I
That is
swear
That'd be
discussing the
crazy.
situation and explaining what Sony is really trying to accomplish with this patent-pending AI system to censor video game content. Sony has patented an AI program that can censor games for content in real time, effectively making an adult-oriented game child-friendly, or at least child-friendlier. The idea behind this AI
what?
tech is to allow parents to control what is censored from a game
Oh my
their
God.
children are playing.
What?
They can choose the settings they wish, violence, cursing,
What?
sexual content, what have you, and the AI will take it from there, changing or blurring.
What?
Okay, this might be
Bro,
nice.
bro,
Because when I'm playing, this might be a little nice because when I play my PlayStation, I play GTA. I can't play
I
it for
know.
my siblings. It's
Listen,
just too
listen,
much. If I can censor swear words,
that's
that'd be
fine,
great.
but
That's all I
listen,
need
though.
to censor.
I know. This is probably very affecting, because if this affects anime, I will be mad, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
I
but
hope it
listen,
does. I hope
the
it's just
paragraph,
Sony's
though.
being retarded.
They can choose the settings. Violence, cursing, sexual content. You can choose settings? What?
That's the point, man. That's his point was, some
And
kid
they're like, they are
having a
saying,
PS5 in
make
his
an
day.
adult-oriented game child-friendly, or at least child-friendly. Bro, so you're telling me that you want to make a child-friendly version of Grand Theft Auto? You want to make a child-friendly
How does
version
that
of
work?
Black Souls?
That's
Like,
crazy.
come on, man. Come on. Like, you can't make a child-friendly version of Black Souls,
We
bro.
see what this has done, and it's not.
Pointing out the stuff parents don't want their kids exposed to. By virtue of the programming, it can also be tailored to each parent's rules for their kids, funneling out violence but not cursing, for example. I'm just gonna blow a hole in this entire thing that Sony is trying to accomplish with this technology. First off, if they're so worried about kids playing this type of content, why is a parent allowing them to get the game in the first place?
That is my
their
question,
entire
too.
objective here, okay, is to
Yeah.
basically say, okay, the parents can set the controls for this game and censor whatever content they want, but it's like, okay, cool and all, but if they're that worried about their kids seeing this type of content, why did the parents get that game for their kid in the
That's
first
a good
place?
question.
That is
is
the
a
big
great
red flag
question.
here that
Yeah.
just does not make any sense. That makes this entire
Does not make
argument that
sense.
Sony is trying to accomplish with this technology completely crumble apart, because it's like, if the parents
Yeah,
need
like
to
what?
censor the content, don't let them play the game in the first place. Like, I'm gonna give a good
Exactly.
example to this, actually. When I was 11 or 12, and I went to
Yeah.
GameStop to pick up a game like Record of Agrest War, I remember my dad had to be there to allow
heard
me
of
to
this
get the
before.
game. Like, he had to be there to say, yeah, my son can buy this game
Damn.
and all
I've
that, here
never
you
heard of
go,
this thing
and I
before.
bought it.
Looks
And
like an anime
they
game.
make it painfully aware that a kid normally shouldn't be able to play these games. But if your parent allows it, there's nothing that the game company can really do. There's also a reason why there's a rating system in place, like E for everyone, teen for
Yeah,
teen, M
that's
for
why it's
mature, you
rated
get the
M,
point. Which for
for
some reason,
mature.
game companies nowadays don't even like to use, and these different censorship programs and activist groups also don't realize that. But I'm getting on a tangent. The point of the matter is that if a parent has such an issue with a kid experiencing this type of content within a game,
Then don't buy
then
the
don't
game.
buy them the game.
Don't buy the
Like,
game. Like, don't be
I know
stupid.
parents can be like strict and stuff for the children.
By the way, I played GTA 6 until I was 16. I can't say anything from cute kids or old my games. But I didn't play until 16, 17, and that was after I was gonna get PlayStation 4. And it was fun. It's fun.
But the
like,
thing is,
yeah.
like, I know parents make strict rules for their children, but this is like totally next level, bro. Like,
Yeah, this is
harmless.
pointless. This is
It
pointless.
shouldn't be a company's job to do something like this that eventually
Exactly.
will branch out and start affecting pretty much the entire industry. I think that this is
Yeah.
legitimately just horrendous. Like, when When did it become the responsibility of the companies or the government to parent children instead of the parents parenting their children?
Yeah.
I don't understand
Exactly.
this. Like,
Yeah.
this is
It's the parents'
Yeah, I do,
job.
and you
The
know-
parents are the job to be the
Yeah,
parent.
you know. Yeah, and you see, children, kids, just don't have kids. Let them go to adoption, abort them. Foster homes. Who gives a fuck anymore?
Or don't even have kids.
Don't
Yeah.
have kids. Kids doesn't pass. Who parents
the
don't
big
deserve
narrative that's
kids?
been pushed a lot as of late, especially in 2025. Like with all these like censorship programs, like with what the UK is doing, what the EU is doing, United States, all these different countries around the world, these governments, they're pushing this like, oh, protect the children, think of the children. We need to put these laws in place to protect the children.
That's not
But
helping
it's
them,
also
though.
not true. They're not protecting the children now.
Yeah, they're not being protected at
Yeah,
all.
like a Roblox.
It's like, no, it's
Yeah, like
the
Roblox
parents'
is like,
job, not Big Daddy government to come in or Big Daddy
Yeah,
company
it's
to
the
come in and
parents'
censor
job.
everything to be the parent to the
Yeah.
kid. This is not okay. I don't know when we
It's
had
not.
this cultural
It's not
shift where it's no longer the parent's job to be a parent to keep their kids off the content.
But it's supposed to be the
It
parents'
doesn't
job,
make
though.
any sense to me
Yeah.
because this
It does not make
technology
sense.
is 100% going to be abused. It's not going to be in a way that is going to be there just to protect kids. It's going to be abused to cause the entire situation with censorship just to get absolutely worse.
Yeah.
it's gonna
It's
get
worse,
worse,
honestly.
honestly.
Like, I can't
I
even,
actually don't care.
I can't even believe.
I don't play with
Well,
PS5 games.
the problem is not even just Sony, because this could be even more than just Sony games. Like I'm saying, it could be an anime because Sony owns Crunchyroll. But the problem also is that, like like I can't believe that Sony had to even come out and say they're making an AI real-time detection program.
Like, how does that make
Like, they
any
had
And
to
I'm going to
make
dive
that.
into this, actually. Let's just get right into it. First off,
Yeah.
Sony is very well known for censoring a lot of different content. We have seen it just with some of the stuff they've had with the games they own and all that they bring out that people see. There's a lot of content that gets censored that's under the Sony umbrella or PlayStation umbrella. But it's not just in the gaming space. We have seen Crunchyroll, which is owned by Sony, also experience
that's what I was talking
censorship or
about, you see?
agenda pushing or narratives
Yeah.
being pushed, translations being messed up, or subtitles being messed up that mean something completely different from what.
Did he say, wait, is it Crunchyroll or it's a
Crunchyroll.
mouse?
Because Crunchyroll's
Yeah,
owned by Sony.
translations either. Yeah, and they just don't do good on
the
that.
actual
They do
Japanese
ruin
is
that.
saying. There is a lot of examples. That's not even getting into the mismanagement of Crunchyroll and the horrendous situation they've done with like many different people that's worked for their company or tried to work for their company, or how they handle things in the first place with the complete lack of transparency. The point is that this technology that Sony is trying to patent is not going to just stop at this. It's not going to just stop at video games. It's not going to just
It could be
stop at what
anime.
they're doing. It's going to branch out to
It's gonna
all
go
their
into
content that
anime.
they currently own under their umbrella, and eventually it is going to affect Crunchyroll. Mark my words. It might not.
Oh my god, that's exactly what you were
Yeah,
saying.
because
What you
it
were
makes
saying.
sense. Sony owns Crunchyroll. Sony is releasing this AI program for the games. So Sony owns Crunchyroll. They would bring in Crunchyroll too, and I'd be stupid.
Happen
Yeah,
next year,
that's
but in the
crazy.
next 10 to 15 years from now, if there is not a lot of pushback to this and parents don't start parenting their kids, we're going to have this technology that's going to be forced on everyone, even adults, and you're not going to have a
Even
say in the matter.
adults.
Because right now, it's starting off as something very simple, something very nice and all that, like, oh, you can do this if you want to do it, you can use this AI patent program to censor this content for your kids, but what starts off as, a pleasantry or trying to seem innocent is going to evolve into something very malicious and get a lot worse as time goes on, where it will be just very aggressive with its censorship, and Sony will hammer down and they will force it on everything instead of allowing you to opt out or opt in. It will be completely forced to actually use this said technology. I do not like this. I think that this is a very bad thing, and it is paving the way for just more censorship of all forms of entertainment. And once again, Sony's been very heavy on the censorship as of late, especially in this past year or two.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is just bad news all around. And anyone that is fine with this really needs to look that this is the beginning of something that could get much worse if there is not a vocal outcry against this. I don't like this. I don't think this is okay. And I want to once again reinstate what I've already said in this video, that, you know, it's not the company's job to basically play parent. It's supposed to be the parents. Like, if the parents are having an issue with these games and this content within these games, don't let the kid play the game. It is that simple. Like,
yeah, just don't let them play. Stop letting your kids play
no,
that stuff.
if you're thinking like, oh, but it's digital, they have to buy it digital. Okay, parent your child. You can still look at what they're looking at. You can see what they're doing. You know, you can. There's so many other limitations, like screen time limitations.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can just do that. Get unlimited time. Stop letting them ingrained into their brain.
Whatever you want to do.
Yeah, like what?
The point is, it's
just
the parents' job to parent their children, not these companies, not these governments. They should have no part to play. I think that it shows how society, for some reason, has made it to where parents shouldn't have to do their jobs anymore, and that they should just completely rely on technology to do the babysitting, do the watching over the kids and everything. I don't think this is a good thing that society has been doing.
Yeah, it's not a good thing.
Yeah, they've been doing it pretty fucked up, honestly. I don't know what they're trying to do.
This entire problem is just going to continuously escalate if something is not done, if there's not more outcry against this. I want to be honest with you, I don't really know what you can do to fix this situation. And I know that sucks for me to say, I don't like admitting something like that, but I don't really know the answer to this besides parents just being parents and actually having to parent their kids, because this is just crazy, man. It's just...
It is.
Because... You realize, I haven't even discussed, like, the issues that this is going to cause with people that make games. Like, for instance, let's say you make a mature game, okay? An example here.
Yeah.
You make a mature game, and this patent is completely available, like it happens. This means that it's going to completely distort the original artwork of what an artist did or developers have done, distort it and make deep fakes and completely blur it and just completely tarnish what the original art was meant to convey. And once again, I don't think kids should be looking at this type of content or anything. I completely understand that statement, but the point is if it's an issue for these parents and this program needs to be initiated, parents just need to parent. It's that simple. Like, it's that simple. It really is. And I just don't know how we have fallen so low in a society to where you have to have stuff like this that's introduced just to do the parents' job. I know I'm saying the same thing, but just... It aggravates me, because, like, I remember having to go to GameStop and different game stores, and my dad would have to be there to approve and be an actual parent and say, yeah, he can get this game. And even if it's not a game I should be playing at the age, the point is he had to agree to it. And he never complained or was worried about this type of stuff. But the parents that get these games for their kids, they know what they're getting. And the fact that they are... Anyways, I don't want to go on a tangent. I've said my piece. I think everybody gets the point I'm trying to make. I'll leave it at that, though. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe, leave a like, helps me out a lot. Chibi out.
Leo's working hard.
What the?
What the
I know.
fuck? Yeah, well, yeah, guys, that's all. I hope I'll see you this week and not maybe next week. But yeah,